Give me 13 influencers in a creepy mansion on Halloween. All go in, but not all will come out. This hair raising YA horror novel is right in time for spooky season. Are you ready?
The Books and Vogue podcast. Come get your favorite next book. The Books and Vogue podcast with Catherine and Brad.
Welcome, book lovers, to the Books on Vogue podcast. This is your premier listening experience all about immersive reading and helping avid and reluctant readers alike imagine book characters like never before. I'm your host, Kat Trinidad. The format of the show is I introduce a book, share tips on how you can engage your senses as you read this title, because it's one thing to be a mood reader, but you get a little something extra from the story when you are set the mood reader. And finally, I will end the show with a reimagining of my favorite scene. Today, we will discuss techniques for getting into There's No Way I'll Die First by Lisa Springer with fellow reader and book influencer behind Bookish Girl Magic, Latesha Dejean. Welcome, Latesha.
Thanks for having me, Kat.
Please tell us about the book.
There's No Way I'd Die First is a YA horror that takes place in a mansion in Long Island, New York at an exclusive Halloween party, and a murderous clown takes over. It gives all the vibes one would look for in a horror, but the black girl is at the center. It kept me up all night reading it and has lived rent-free in my head since I finished it, even though I'm not a horror girly.
Well, thank you so much for that, Letitia. Do you care to join me in a discussion of some tips for setting the reading mood?
Of course, I love a good book discussion.
Okay, well, book lovers, I hope you have your writing utensils ready because class is in session.
Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it. Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it. Hear it, see it, smell it, sense it, taste it, touch it.
The Books and Vogue podcast.
So, Letitia, what's the vibe? How can we engage our spirit as we read this book?
It may feel like your spirit is detaching from your body with anxiety and nervousness for the party goers, so it might be a little bit difficult.
Okay. So, what's the sound of There's No Way I'll Die First? What keynotes in music or nature could set the tone as we read this novel?
It's like a creepy Jack in the Box churning up, ready to pop open. It's like that moment that you know it's going to happen, but you're just anxiously waiting for it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was on edge the entire time, so I definitely understand that. Do you care to share the aesthetics? This can be any visuals aside from the book, such as lighting.
I'd say it's shadowy in its lighting. Read it during the day if you're jumpy, and at night if you want to lean into the horror vibes. What would you say?
I would say when I picked the book up, I started reading it at night, which was a terrible idea. I wasn't expecting this level of creepiness, and I definitely wish I had started it during the day. Yeah.
That's fair.
So, what's the flavor? Any food or drink companions for this title?
I'd say theater style popcorn and punch, though I did a lot of nail biting while reading, which is not necessarily a flavor, but it does kind of match the mood. What about you?
I think if I would have tried to consume anything while reading this, I would have choked. Just because of the amount of jump scares and the amount of like surprising things happening. It was too much for
Mhm.
me to even contemplate putting anything in my mouth as I read.
True.
Like, no. So, what is the aroma? Are there any smells to transport us into the pages?
I would say blown out candles and copper, the tanginess of copper, but also like the smell emitted from a stack of dollar bills since all the kids are rich and privileged.
Okay, I
Would
can
that
see
be a
that.
candle?
I can see that. I can see that. Absolutely. So, how can we get more of the bill?
Definitely curl up in a comfy blanket with a pillow or a stuffed animal nearby to hold onto in a dimly lit room because you want to hold on to something. What about you?
I found myself reaching for my puppy and hugging her entirely too tight, so much so that she fled the room, and then I found myself alone with my fears in the book.
Poor thing.
Yeah. So, something warm and cuddly, but maybe not your pet.
Mhm.
Well, there you go, book lovers. These are your recommended supplies as you read this title. If you are able, pause and get some of these if available, or simply imagine because it's time for my favorite scene. Disclaimer, please note that exact words, names, locations, and/or scenarios mentioned in this reimagined reenactment may differ from the actual book. Sharing my favorite scenes, I reenacted though, imagining the fiction world that I've been reading of. Going from all the things, I just gave you a list. Come experience all the senses as protagonists. And it don't get more real than this. Immersive read with books on both and live vicariously. When the Clown Enters the Chat, starring Latesha Dejean as the Mario Rollins and Kat Trinidad as Noelle Lane. Jeez, I'm coming. I'm walking as fast as I can.
You could definitely walk faster if you weren't tipsy. I'm just saying.
Gage the clown? Is this him? It's a rainbow umbrella. I mean, it is pouring raining, you know. I expected a clown. And he has white painted face, dark red hair, but kind of putting me on edge. Ugh. His curved red lines arch from the corners, his downturned mouth, and peering at me through heavily full brown eyes. Like, yo. Gabe, I mean, that is your name, right? Okay. Mr. Tall, creepy, and silent. Thanks for the card. And a nod of confirmation.
Gage the Clown Dairy?
Ah! Did you have to sneak up on me like that?
Hold still. I'm trying to read the card. Jackass of all trades, old Brookville entertainment, but he doesn't speak.
I mean, maybe he's in character.
His white ruffled high collar is dotted with yellow age spots, and with one of the red pom-poms dangles from his flouncy shirt. Even his wig is lopsided and in dire need of styling. He looks as if he has literally just rolled out of the sewer. Definitely not the officially licensed It Clown.
Yeah, definitely not what I was expecting. I take it that battered brown leather trunk with the thick brass buckles and rivets are your supplies? You need help? It looks kinda heavy.
What kind of props does he have in there? I wonder.
Chill. It's just, an evil clown.
That's what you wanted.
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of too weird, though. I knew I should have ordered the premium clown practice package. Well, come on in, Gage.
Dude, he even has a mouthful of pointy yellow fake teeth that look like jagged tombstones when he smiles. Did he literally just take a giant step over the threshold with his oversized yellow shoes, like a vampire accepting an invitation inside?
Uh, everyone, this is Gage. He's here for the game. Gage is it. Get it? That's a pun about a demented clown and kids. And the kids' game hits different when there's an actual creepy clown in the room. Book lovers. If you have enjoyed this sneak peek, you can get more by reading the whole book. There's No Way I'll Die First. It's available at your local library and everywhere books are sold. And if it's not, request it because you deserve to read all the books that interest you. And if you have already read There's No Way I'll Die First or in the middle of reading it, let me know in the comments what you like to do to set the reading mood because I would love to hear from you. So please leave your feedback. Latesha, is there anything else you would like to share with the listeners?
I hope you all love this book as much as I did. Feel free to find and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Let's talk about it.
Again, thank you, Latesha, for joining us today.
Thank you again for having me.
And thank you, book lovers, for listening. With peace, love, and joy, happy reading.
The Books and Vogue podcast. Come get your favorite next book here. The Books and Vogue podcast. With Catch and Brad. Subscribe, listen, check out recommendations, and happy reading.